Gene Silva beat, let me just check real quick, Melsik Bagdasarian tonight at UFC Fight Night Cejudo versus Yadong. And immediately after his W, Bryce Mitchell has called him out. Bryce Mitchell, you probably have fucking heard of him. Hillbilly, good grappler. Said some really, really, really hateful stuff on Twitter. But nevertheless, he's called out Gene Silva. He is a name at featherweight either way. And that would be a great fight. I'm sure the UFC will make that fight because Gene Silva is a beloved fighter, and deservedly so. He's very entertaining. He's very driven. I love the fucking barking. That barking thing is really fun. Ever since I saw Mike Breeden do it, I love when fighters do the barking thing. It's really cool. I like to see fighters who are fucking dogs. And Gene Silva is a dog. The whole fucking fighting nerd fighters are dogs. Fighting nerds, that place gets my respect. Them people are mutants over there. So respect to them. But yeah, Bryce Mitchell called out Gene Silva. I think that's a great fight to make next. I was thinking about featherweight fighters who would be good for Gene Silva. I think Yair Rodriguez would be good for Gene Silva. I know Yair has a fight against Patricio Pitbull Cruz next. But after that fight, I think this is a good fight to make. I just gotta fucking make sure I'm saying this shit right. Yeah, Patricio Pitbull Cruz. But yeah, Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva, how does that go? Really fucking bad for Bryce Mitchell, obviously. Bryce Mitchell could force grappling exchanges and try to survive there. But Gene Silva is just, he's a mastermind on the feet, man. And we already saw Bryce Mitchell get knocked out by Josh Emmett. So how hard would you think it would be for Gene Silva to knock him out? If Josh Emmett could fucking land that really, really, really mean, was it a hook or an overhand that he landed on Bryce Mitchell that caused Bryce Mitchell to go into fucking convulsions doing this shit. But yeah, it's smart. It's a smart move by Bryce Mitchell because it gets him another entertaining fight, like a blockbuster fight. But I think it's also a dumb move because I think it's a bad matchup for Bryce Mitchell. I think Bryce Mitchell's more of a grappler. His striking isn't terrible. I just think it's definitely not on par with Gene Silva. And you got to be on par with Gene Silva if you hope to survive a Gene Silva fight. So I think Bryce Mitchell gets his lunch eaten. If the fight goes to the ground, he has a chance, obviously, but I just don't see it going to the ground. If Gene Silva's going to keep, his laser focus on Bryce Mitchell, coupled with his, really nice foot movement. But yeah, there ain't much to say about the fight. I think Gene Silva's just going to knock Bryce Mitchell out early, just like he did to Melisik Bagdasarian. All these last names in this fucking card were insane. But yeah, Gene Silva has shown levels. I think he's just got a bright future ahead of him at featherweight. There's not many fighters who I think could really be on par with Gene. The only two that come to mind are Evloev and Aljamain Sterling, and obviously Alexander Volkanovski. I think a really good fight for Gene Silva would be Diego Lopez. If Diego is unsuccessful with beating Volk, I think a fight between him and Gene Silva would be absolute fireworks. Just absolute fireworks. Two Brazilian dogs. Really, really wild striking style. Somebody's either going to sleep or somebody is just quitting, So you really just gotta wait and see who does what. But circling around Gene Silva's next fight, which is definitely going to be against Bryce Mitchell, especially because Bryce Mitchell is the one forcing the action. It's just a bad call out for Bryce Mitchell. I think on one side it's good for Bryce because it's putting his name in the ring with entertaining fighters for entertaining fights. On the other hand, again, it's just a plain and simple bad matchup for Bryce Mitchell. He He has not done well against powerful strikers. You know, he did well against the Gracie. That was about it. That's really it. So Gene Silva, Bryce Mitchell. Gene Silva probably eats Bryce Mitchell's lunch in 1 round or 2. I'll say 1. Gene Silva is a fucking dog. He'll get it done in 1. But overall, you let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next.